Are there, short of engaging with somebody like you who could point that out, if someone was going to try to, do their own mini exorcism, do things like frankincense or salt or rolling an egg across your body, things like that, are those effective techniques?
So I'll tell you right now that I'm not expert in any of the modalities that you mentioned. I am sure that the answer is yes for different people, for different types of issues, for different degrees, and maybe there are combinations of things. So it really depends on what's working for you that will be most effective. I know that the deeper it goes, it's like, why do people go see a therapist? Sometimes it's just not enough to. There are these classes about teaching shamanism with different modules of how to do the work. The last one, it's the end of everything, is heal thyself, because healing thyself is not always the easiest, and the deeper it goes, the harder it is. So I guess the answer is, for many things, yes. For many things, yes. You can use other modalities. You can use crystals. You can use different aromatherapy or different things that would help. And then there will probably be things that most people don't like to deal with, perhaps afraid, and they can learn them, but most will not just know how to do it. And it will not be like, go to sleep and put this thing next to your head and you get up in the morning and you're clear. Because it's more involved. I mean, think about it. You go back hundreds or thousands of different lifetimes, and it can be on this planet, it can be on other planet, it can be in this dimension or other dimensions. It can be in the dark realms. So how many people did in previous lifetimes dark magic, and do they really want to go there? Do they know how to go there? Do they, once they're there, do they know what to do about it? So the answer is yes. Everything is good for something, and I guess the main thing that shamanic work does is especially moving between the dimensions and see what's going on. Tracking and seeing what's going on with entities, with interdimensional beings, with implants, with other lifetimes, in whatever realm, upper realm, middle realm, lower realms, and so there's just a lot of complexity. That's why I decided to go and study it, because it was just, and the experiences that I had in training, I don't think that I would have gone through them by myself, to be honest. There were some that I'm really not missing. It, in training, there were days that I thought, I'm just gonna jump at night out the window, not to not a window that high, but just so nobody sees me, and just escape this place because it was just too hard. So the training is not always easy, but it's extremely valuable.
Let's circle back to your personal healing process. I'm
Yeah.
curious, was this a gradual process of healing where there were profound events that occurred that were like massive quantum shifts for you? Um, and what were some of those experiences, if there were some?
There were certainly massive shifts for me. I don't think that I would get to physical healing if I didn't go through some of the clearings that I did. For me, I grew up in a place where there was no belief in anything divine. It was pretty much, life is hard and you make it all by yourself, and there is nobody outside of you that really cares. There's just nothing. And so I remember losing a lot of sleep as a child over this, because it was hard to take. And so I think training is in and I don't know that I needed shamanic healing for that, but I think that because I needed healing in general, I really needed to come to a place where I sort of give up the need to know everything, to be in full control, to to say I'm the only one who can heal myself, because that obviously didn't work for me. And I just needed something bigger. And so what shamanic healing, especially the training, did for me is, number one, it showed me the the fact that I'm so connected, and that I don't have to be by myself, and that when I work with somebody else, um, most of the time it's, yeah, I learned a lot of tools, but most of the time true healing is not coming from me anyway. It's coming through me, but it's not me doing it. It's me, having the skills to invite uh, the right help at the right time, and also to I will command things. So it certainly teaches you how to connect to your power, to your inner power. But at the same time, you know that the only reason you can command things is because you have this connection that gives you the authority to command things.
Mhm.
And so the connection to the divine source is everything, and everything is coming from it. And without it, I don't think that I would be very effective in what I do.
Would you say that the predominance of your physical healing with regard to multiple sclerosis occurred over that 4-year period where you're working with Bonnie?
I'd say it started before. So it started with the first program, which was not, it was, kind of woo woo, but it was not, it was not learning, how to work with energy healing. It was more like, it was a program that dealt with just seeing yourself different, starting to see that whatever you see around you is not what it really is. The difference between the seen world and the unseen worlds and dimensions. So the introduction of these ideas, the introduction that we're so much more than we see, and then it did have something about physical healing. It had something about prosperity. It had something, it was a program that addressed sort of major components of life. I think the main thing for me in this program that is relevant to healing myself was letting identities go, because and that was actually a sub program of this program that was called "Get Out of Your Own Way" or "Get Out of Your Way," one or the other. But the essence of it is, we all carry so many identities, and you can probably take a piece of paper and write down your identities. Right? I'm a father. I'm a husband. I am this. I am that. I'm whatever job I do, and you can easily come up with 20 different roles that you play that are your identities. And um, and then I remember this exercise in the group. You're so proud of yourself that you put all of this, and you feel so good about every identity that you are. And then the teacher says, now take all of them and throw them away, because none of them is you. And that was really that was the first time that I was singing in this way, that there is something inside of me that is not my identity. And so now when I work with people, many times I lead them into what I call the sacred space of the heart. And the sacred space of the heart is this place where you discover your essence, um, and you you really see yourself without any identity, where you see who you truly are. So identities uh, just don't play a role anymore. I mean, you bring your consciousness there into your heart. You bring your higher self, which is the aspect of you that is one with creation, but it's also unique to you at the same time. And you bring all this to some sort of unity in the sacred space of the heart, and suddenly something shifts, something lights up. It's like you're becoming literally a light that can be really, really, really tall. I mean, you could feel like, your head is in the clouds, but you lose the not just the identity of who you are, you lose the sense of time,
Mm.
sense of space. I mean, everything becomes um, everything would would be on another plane. And Cindy Dale calls this the divine pathway, but it is just a place where there is no meaning. There is no meaning to many things that we lose sleep over when we're here, and it's a very quiet place. As a result, it's a peaceful place, and so I love to bring people into that sacred space of the heart. Um, and sometimes I take them further into a place called the tiny space of the heart. These are, by the way, teachings that come from Dranvalo Melchizedek, and he received it from others. Really nothing is new. But I love these teachings because they really help you to activate inside of you things that are hard to activate in other ways, and suddenly everything becomes very focused, very simple, and very expansive.
Hmm. Uh, if you can give the people tuning in here an idea of what your show is going to be like starting next month, what you intend to do.
Yeah. So it will evolve, I'm sure. And the way I think it starts is me explaining what I explained to you in very short, condensed form, explaining explaining in more detail how the work is done, and so it'll be a monthly, right? It's going to be a
Hmm.
monthly. Yeah. So every month I'll select a topic, and I really would like the audience to contribute to what the topic is. But let's say that the topic is prosperity. Okay. So we will be working on, well, we'll naturally be working on poverty, because uh, everybody has some connection to previous life or previous experiences of poverty and beings of poverty. And so we will be talking about the topic like abundance in the context of poverty. I don't know exactly how I'd call it, but there would be a connection, and the consciousness of poverty or something like that. And then once I explain what the work looks like, how is it different, what is it is really that I'm going to be doing, then I'll probably, so if it's an hour, maybe 20 minutes or 15 or whatever it takes will be to explain the topic and the way that I would work with the topic, and then actually doing the work, which is the transformative part of the experience. And so it's not a meditation, because you sit back, but you don't need to do the work. We're basically together, and we do something together, and I take you through whatever it is that we're working through, which is the shamanic practice of dealing with whatever is going on. And it's kind of interesting because the people that'll show up to a topic, even if they expected another topic, uh, there will be a frequency in them that is showing up for that topic. You can also bring with you, um, energetically speaking, friends, relatives, to be with you, and we're doing group work that is pretty cool. You'll be able to tell when it's over that something changed.
That sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it.